Just Stop Oil's protests attract a lot of attention. A lot of attention. And boy, do we like talking about it on Novara Media. But a lot of that attention isn't exactly positive. In recent days, they've dumped powder on a garden at the Chelsea Flower Show, leading to squeals of outrage from the posh attendees. And on Saturday, they also stormed the field at Twickenham, disrupting the final of the Rugby Premiership. That also caused its audience, which has a large crossover with the Chelsea Flower Show, I would say, aka Posh, to pelt them with booze and beer. I wouldn't bother throwing your beer at Twickenham. Do you know how much that costs? But now they found a new set of enemies. The North London Liberals. Apparently these aren't posh people too. Okay, let's take a look.
Everyone's just trying to go back to business, to go back their day. And you are all of them. You might feel better about yourself. All you're doing is helping the cause. Because everyone hates you. I'm a Liberal. I've always voted Liberal. I'm a cyclist. And I live in North London. If I hate you, yes, hippies like you. And you all feel better about yourself, but you're hurting the cause. You feel better, but you're hurting the cause. You're hurting the green cause. So you feel good about yourself, but you're not helping.
Is he right? First of all, people in the comments, do you think this man is right? This man who's a Liberal, has always voted Labour and knows lots about the green cause in his very tight lycra. Sean, do you think he's right? Are Just Stop Oil not helping the cause?
This is the thing, even the terms, right, of the question. What does helping the cause mean? We are like, what they are demonstrating against is an emergency for humanity, certainly for the global south before anyone else. I think it's worth saying that. But for us as a species, it is a true emergency. And I think saying hurting the cause is that we are heading towards almost certain doom, impending societal shifts leading potentially towards societal collapse. It's that level of alarm, something that is essentially we are already betraying future generations. If anyone watching has a child, what we collectively as a society are doing is handing them a future that is going to be full of misery and pain. The way that Just Stop Oil are protesting, to me, seems entirely commensurate with the threat. And the reality is that there is not any movement throughout history, whether it's for civil rights, obviously, whether it's for ecological and climate rights, for racial justice, whatever, there is no movement throughout history that has really been that popular. I mean, like disruption, civil disobedience is intended, to piss people off, basically. And there's something wrong if you're not. So to me, the argument about whether or not people are hugely happy is not the point. The point is that the people who are doing this are heroes. We will look back. And I honestly think that future generations will be like, why were more people not in Just Stop Oil? I think whether or not they're hurting or harming the cause is not a matter of winning people over. It's not something like, can you come along and vote this way in a referendum? It's a matter of this is an emergency and we need people, a very small, powerful elite to take notice. And we need to create disturbances that keep this in the news cycle and keep people having an appropriate sense of panic.
Something I think about a lot is when people are trying to talk about Just Stop Oil, they list their own credentials, such as that man being like, I'm a Liberal. Where do you think that impulse comes from? Why does he think that people, doing a Just Stop Oil protest will give a single shit that he's a Liberal or not?
Isn't that the same old, complaining about anything to do with racial equality and saying, I've got black friends, I'm a transphobe, but I'm not a transphobe, I'm a feminist. I mean, I think it's just the same old thing, isn't it?
Something else I think about when it comes to climate activism in particular is there's a large amount of guilt involved from those onlooking. There's a fear and guilt that means that we often don't want to address what's happening to the climate head on. We do literally want to keep our head in the sands. And I think when, you've got a cyclist who sees Just Stop Oil protests, then all of that guilt and fear instead is expressed onto them. I've been thinking a lot about the way that we treat climate protesters, or just protesters in general, like the shooting the messenger, the absolute aggression that you see now leveled against protesters. We had that video of someone beating up a Just Stop Oil protester the other day. Someone I know who was involved in a deportation protest, people came up and kicked them. It does seem like there is heightened aggression around at the moment, but then if you look through history, I suppose that's not really a huge departure, but it's maybe the fact that we capture it all on camera now in video in real time means that we can kind of put all these incidents together.